And Mary is the author of Ready to Pull the Retirement Trigger. Come join me on the red carpet. All right, Mary, tell everyone about Ready to Pull the Retirement Trigger.
So Ready to Pull the Retirement Trigger is not your typical retirement planning book. I would say that most people find this type of subject probably incredibly boring. And I didn't want to write a book that was about graphs and charts and numbers. I wanted to write a book that helps people align the money that they have with the life that they want to lead for the rest of their life as they go through retirement. And so that's what this book is about. It's really digging into what are the tools that you need to have in place to know if you're emotionally ready, to know if you're financially ready, to know if you have your health insurance issues in place, and to really address the issues that retirees face so that they can overcome stressful challenges or the humps that are out there that they're not quite sure if they're ready to actually pull that retirement trigger.
So I have so many questions about this, but the first one is really getting clear on who this is for. It feels like, do you need to have millions of dollars in order to read this book and process it? Do you need to be 2 years from retirement and collecting a pension? Who would this resonate with? How do people know if they should download this book?
I think the people that this is going to resonate the most with is anybody that's within 5 to 10 years from retirement. So if you're getting close to that time period where you're really starting to think about what life might look like in the next chapter, then this book is really going to be for you. In terms of how much money you need to have to read this book, any amount is going to work, but it's going to be the most effective if you at least know what you're working with. So part of the way that the book is going to help you is to help you wrap your arms around what's out there for you and then figure out how to use what you have built in order to create the life that you want to lead.
Okay, so sometimes some of this financial stuff gets a little, my brain gets a little full really fast with it. And I think I'm not the only one.
You are not.
But one of the things I love about this book is you make it really real with real life stories. So I wonder if you can share with us a story of somebody in the book or somebody, not in the book, but there are some great stories in the book, who didn't know if they were ready to pull the retirement trigger and how this sort of thought process helps you make that decision is now the time.
I would love to share that. So one of the stories in the book features a person who was actually my flight instructor. I happen to be a private pilot. I fly a little 4-seater airplane. And my flight instructor and I would chit chat about retirement planning and financial planning when we were up doing training. And he had a dream of being able to leave the job that he was in order to pursue more time in the aviation industry. So they came in, we were able to show them a strategic plan to leave the day job quite a few years earlier than when he would have been able to, and by putting in some different strategies into play. And it really, I guess I kind of like to think of it as it bought him back about 8 years of his life by knowing that he was ready to actually retire. And that's really where my passion is. That's all about.
That's not boring.
No, it's not. And that's why I really wrote the book. So for those of you who don't know me, I guess my background is really what influenced me to write this book. By the time I was 19, I was already a divorced single mother of 2 kids under 2 years old, and we lived on welfare. And I knew that the only way to get out of that hole was to learn how money worked. So I started my own journey to learn how money worked and to be able to take myself and my family from that place to something better. Because I knew I didn't want to be a statistic. That much I knew. So I learned how money worked. I got my certified financial planning designation. And what all of that really did was informed me of what I think about money. And that's what I call money philosophy. And all I think money really does for you is it buys you choices. If you don't have very much, your choices are super limited. But if you have money, then you can thoughtfully think about what you want your life to look like. And then what this book will help you do is align the money you have with this life that you want to create for yourself.
I love that. Your story is so powerful. We're going to do that book too, for sure. Mary, tell us where you're from.
I'm from South Dakota.
I love that. I think you're our only author from South Dakota so far. If you are thinking of writing a book from South Dakota, you could be number 2. Jennifer Glad joined today to hear about this book. And she joined for another author, actually. but she is excited to hear about your book. So hi, Jennifer. For you, is there anything that was driving your decision to write this book? There's lots of things. You have a busy financial planning practice. What was the why that drove you to want to get this book out?
So here's the thing. Coming from a background where I was on welfare, it's easy to have a lot of shame surrounding that. And for a lot of years, I really didn't want to talk about that because I was ashamed of that. But I realized I had another decision to make, and that decision was to use the journey to go from welfare to wealth management to help inspire people to use their own financial journey to go forward towards what's important to them and what really matters to them. And I felt like writing a book was a way to get that story out into the world and to reach so many more people in a way that we could constructively help them. And we also developed a great companion piece that goes with the book that you can download right off of our website. It's called the Strategic Retirement Toolkit. And all of the different things that the book shows you how to do, we've created tools that make it really easy for you to do it.
I love that. Here's the great thing about this book and also the toolkit is there may be someone in your life, a parent or somebody who you're close to, who would benefit from this. And you can actually go grab that link, email that to a friend or a loved one right now. And this is the kind of book that could buy someone back 8 years of their life.
Absolutely.
So Eileen has a question. Oh, Pam. Oh, wow. Monica said, or Monica, I might be saying your name wrong. She said, your story is so similar to mine. I just didn't want to be another statistic too, which is awesome. Pam says, fantastic story. You are an example. She is. And Eileen wants to know, how long did it take you to write the book? So let's talk a little bit about your writing experience.
So the writing experience here was incredibly fantastic. I'm kind of an all or nothing type of person. And the experience that I had was called 3 days till done, where I literally came here and within the span of total immersion over a course of 3 days, I completely finished the first manuscript. And I can tell you that for a busy entrepreneur like me, who's running a company and has a family and lots of things going on, that being able to streamline my focus through your program was an amazing way to get to the point that we are today.
So when was that? February?
No, that was in May.
May 4th to 6th. I'm like, when did we do that?
Literally 2 months ago, I typed the first word in the book and now it's published.
It's so fantastic. That's so great. So there's still an editing process. There's still other steps, but getting to that first manuscript, most people's books are somewhere between 30 and 40,000 words. Most people type about 1,000 words an hour. So 1,000 to 2,000 words an hour. You were faster. But you're looking at 30 to 40 hours to write a book. Now, all the other drama, that can take a whole lot longer. And one of the things about having the confined space of being in either the virtual program or the live program that we run is we just kind of cut out there's not a lot of room for drama when you only have 3 days to write your book.
That's so true. And, life has a tendency to get in the way. Things come up. And so if you have an expanded time frame that you're writing in, it allows time for life to get in the way. But when you're doing the 3 days till done, it is rocking out on getting what's in your head onto paper so that it can go out into the world and help as many people as possible.
And that's awesome. You can download your copy of Ready to Pull the Retirement Trigger by Mary Sterk. Holly is blown away. And Flora says, thanks, Mary. I just downloaded your book for my daughter who is preparing for retirement.
Fantastic.
So good luck, Flora's daughter. Thank you very much, Mary, and congratulations on your book.
Thank you.